Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, Mr. Secretary. Thanks for being here. First of all, Mr. Secretary, I have a request. If you could please arrange over the next couple weeks a legislative field trip to the West Virginia-Pennsylvania border, I think it would be very helpful for some members who have never stepped foot on a well pad to see the competitive environment that is associated in that region. I think the same members that have some reckless economic policies as it relates to energy independence and the natural gas industry in Pennsylvania is pretty frightening. What they must not understand is that we are in competition with our border states in Ohio and West Virginia. We're also in competition with other countries and other states within the United States. What they must not understand is that the rigs that are in Greene County and Washington County and Beaver County that are near the West Virginia border are here for a reason, Mr. Secretary. It's because we have a competitive advantage. The same severance tax they keep talking about, West Virginia has that, and that's why those rigs that are on the border are on the Pennsylvania side of the border, because there's an economic reason they're here. This notion that we just slap a severance tax on top of this industry will create a new $400 million is, maybe I won't use the L word, but it's reckless and Mickey Mouse arithmetic. It's not real. We may be fibbing to our constituents if we tell them that a severance tax means $400 million on top of the impact fee. It's not real. As you know, Mr. Secretary, there are ramifications for tax policy here in Harrisburg that clearly, when they're talking mathematics like that and economics like that, they must not understand. The production levels will not stay the same in Pennsylvania. The numbers they want to use to make up that Mickey Mouse math will not stay the same if we put a severance tax in place. Production won't stay the same. We've lost rigs to Ohio because Ohio has a more competitive severance tax. And with that reckless policy, we'll be definitely seeing a lower production levels in the years to come. And I think the impact fee has made significant investments. We read about it today in the Tribune Review, a school district with $100,000 extra to invest in their kids because this industry was here. We continue to hear about the impact fee dollars that are going to those being affected by drilling. And the same people that are for a severance tax, let's be clear of what their motives have been. They've been pretty loud. The motives for a severance tax is to punish that industry, to force that industry to leave. There are those out there in certain groups throughout the state that want those companies to leave Pennsylvania. So they want to tax them to extinction. The same people that are saying every single day, hearing after hearing, that we need a severance tax are the ones that want to take the impact fee dollars that are going to the areas affected by drilling, send the money to Harrisburg so that it can end up in areas that aren't affected by drilling. We've seen that game under the last administration, and I'm thankful that this administration hasn't played the tax and spend game, the haves and the have-nots. Let's send all the money to Harrisburg, and let's see who has the most political muscle at budget time to get it. The impact fee is working. And Mr. Secretary, if I could, because I know you have a passion for education, if we can talk about this graph right here. The idea that we've talked about quite a bit, that in 2008-2009, Governor Rendell's budget had $9.6 billion in education, basic education. The next year it went down to 9.2. The next year it went down to 8.9. Over that time, $1.1 billion siphoned out of the basic education, backfilled by federal stimulus dollars, and redirected to other parts of the budget. And now we're hearing that this governor was the one that cut $1 billion. That $1.1 billion is factually cut from state funding. Can you comment as to where we were then, even when he left, give him the federal stimulus money that they expected us to fill the year after he left office? Where was education spending in 2011? Include the federal stimulus, please, in your numbers, and tell us where we are in this proposed budget.
We're at $10.12 billion in total funding, direct state support for basic education in this budget, a historic high.
Mr. Secretary, we all like to spend more money on education, whether it's pre-K through 12 or higher education. But the fact is, this idea that we can just keep telling people that Harrisburg can levy more and more taxes on job creators and that the unemployment rate isn't low enough. We're never going to be happy. Beaver County, we're set to see a lot of changes in the next 5 to 10 years. We're still not happy. We're working every single day to get better. I think that's Harrisburg's job. I think that's your job. I think we're all committed to doing a better job. But more people are working today in the private sector. Taxes have come down, and we continue to grow, and I thank you for that commitment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative.